Welcome to Irish Illustrated at irishillustrated.com. I'm Kevin Sinclair, and looking at a really interesting prospect today in Rodney Gallagher. So this is a two-sport star, a Division I basketball recruit, a top 100 football recruit, listed as an athlete at first, as he plays dual threat quarterback and cornerback and kick return, punt return for his program. A real dynamic athlete, especially with the ball in his hands, but I really like what I see in him at cornerback as well. But he's hoping to play slot receiver at the next level. I believe that that's a very likely scenario for him in college. Notre Dame pursuing him heavily, from Marcus Freeman to Chad Bowden, Tommy Rees, Chancey Stuckey, all collectively pursuing this prospect who had a big year as a dual threat quarterback and chipping in on defense and special teams. I had a long look at 3 of his game films. Let's dig in. So Rodney Gallagher as a dual threat quarterback, will start there, out of the backfield, out of shotgun. This is an explosive athlete with a very good change of direction and cutting ability, just the ability to make defenders miss in space. And then, as you can see here, this speed to run away from defenders. Now, he is probably going to be a slot receiver at the college level, and you can imagine, just watch his ability in space with the ball in his hands after the catch. He should be quite dynamic in making plays out of the slot. You can see why college programs like him as a slot receiver, to the shiftiness and change of direction and ability to make defenders miss. And he does a good job of using his free arm for straight arms and sort of swatting through arm tackle attempts. Now, here he is showing good patience in the backfield before juking past a couple defenders. Watch here again, same play, cutting inside, exploding upfield, and then quickly making another defender miss. You often see these defenders laid out all over the field in his dust as he's sprinting to the end zone. Just a dynamic athlete with the ball in his hands, as I said, and you can imagine what that would be like from the slot receiver position, not just as a pass catcher, but on jet sweeps and getting the ball to him in the backfield of bubble screens, tunnel screens, and the like. And he's very quick up the sideline. So you got to like that versatility in him. And he's also, very impactful in the kick return and punt return game. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him, take those same duties at the college level. But in terms of his athleticism with the ball in his hands, there's definitely some similarities to what we saw in Lorenzo Styles at the college level. Of course, Styles was playing at the receiver position. But in terms of his speed and then his ability in the open field, again, with the ball in his hands, I think there's some similarities there to Styles. And of course, he had a fantastic freshman season. So really good vision in the open field and a very creative athlete. Now we're going to have a look at him on the defensive side of the ball. Here he is at the cornerback position. Initially, a lot of programs are looking at him as an athlete. He could play defensive back or a receiver. Certainly looks like a guy who could play cornerback. And, here's a good reason why. Here he is, making a play on the ball, an interception, 1 of 2 interceptions in that game, actually. Here is the second interception, jumping a route, making a play on the ball. And again, after the interception, he's very dangerous. So, you can do a lot with a guy like this. He wants to play slot receiver at the next level, but certainly it's fantastic to have a guy who has a very, a very legitimate secondary position. And that's certainly what Gallagher offers as a cornerback. And he's very physical too, which is something that sort of surprised me in watching him play in this from a full game film standpoint. I watched him make a lot of big hits to break up passes. Here he is again, making a play on the ball in the red zone, breaking up that pass incomplete in the end zone. But you'll see him here. They're going to throw the football just before the goal line, and it's Gallagher with a big hit to break up the pass. We'll have another look at that again. Him coming downhill, big hit, fantastic play. So you have to kind of use your imagination there to kind of envision what all of what we just saw would look like specifically at the slot receiver position. Again, I think that's very likely what he'll play in college. But kind of going beyond all that talent we just saw, speaking with him on the phone a few times, really, strikes me as a really good kid, someone who probably fit Notre Dame really well. That's why he's being pursued the way he is. Hasn't made it to campus yet, but sounds like that's likely to happen this offseason after he finishes up his junior basketball season. But exciting recruit, one Notre Dame fans need to know about, and that wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in to Irish Illustrated at irishillustrated.com. I'm Kevin Sinclair.